To be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself. That's Rumi, one of my very favorite philosophers. Hi, I'm Gina Martell. And that quote is by Rumi. And it's a beautiful quote, and I really love it. And it has a lot of meaning to it. I mean, who are you? Do you even know? Are you authentic? You know, for 34 years, I worked for a jazz radio station in Miami, and I was an on-air personality. And though I had great ratings, a large social circle, a nice home, and some really terrific articles had been written about me, it wasn't the authentic me. Not really. Not inside. I was living an external life made up of stuff and pretentiousness, all because I thought I had to live up to someone else's expectations. I thought my career was who I was. You know, I dressed the part, I attended parties, I went to the Grammys a couple times, and I had a lot of fun. But, you know, when I got around horses, like a chameleon, I noticed a transformation would take place. See, I never knew about being authentic. I always believed I was who I was, and that was just fine. I mean, when I was a young girl, I think I was more authentic. You know, because I think it's children, they're more real and they're like sponges. I mean, they have no fears when they're born. It's the adults that give those kids those fears. But I had this insane passion for horses. I mean, it was something that nobody could explain. I just had this gift for working with horses. I could fix my friends' confused and disrespectful horses and then turn them into behaved, wonderful, happy creatures. It was really kind of cool, and I loved it. And I had my own horses, and I'll always be grateful to them because going through all the stuff that I went through as a teenager, you know, the typical teenage problems, then a pretty dysfunctional home life, they really saved my life. As I continued growing up, I eventually had to give up my horses. And finally, as an adult, I eventually ended up working in radio as an on-air personality. And it was a dear friend of mine that worked with me in radio that invited me to do some volunteer work with the SPCA. You know, when he first asked me to get involved, he wasn't aware of how big my background with horses was. Not only could I fix the unhappy ones, but I learned to train, and I showed a lot. I did a lot of crazy barrel racing, had a lot of trophies, and I was very, very involved with horses. Little did I know that I was about to step onto a path that would lead me into a whole different direction where I am today. It was also the path where I would find my most authentic self. As I would head out to the barn with my friend, I noticed how comfortable I felt being around the horses. I mean, I really missed them. And I knew I'd love them madly. But it was more than that. I didn't care if I was dirty, if I smelled like a horse, clean stalls, I didn't wear makeup, my hair was a mess. I didn't care. I was totally in my element. I was completely in heaven. As time passed, I got busy with my career. I had another child, I got divorced, and I had less time to volunteer. Years passed, and eventually I resigned from the radio station back in 2006, and though I continued doing voiceover work and some small radio station jobs, which I'm still doing, by the way, I decided to pursue a new career. It was just something inside of me that said, it's time to make a change. And so I became a life and relationship coach. Now, for almost 10 years, I've been coaching and helping people, you know, become the best version of themselves and truly heal. Because there's a lot of broken people out there. 5 years ago, my new husband and my son, we moved to Georgia, where we bought a 4-acre farm. And I adopted 2 rescue horses and started to develop my coaching business. It was in that time period that I met the manager of a tack shop where I would go and buy all my tack and my feed. And she was having a really rotten day. And I just, doing what I do, I just had to reach out and say something to her. And she was so grateful for the advice. She asked me for my card and she said, "What do you do?" And I explained to her and she says, "Oh my God, you're a horse person. You have to become an equine assisted coach." Wow. I was like, what? My ears were ringing, my heart was beating, and I said, bingo, that's exactly where I belong. I knew it immediately. So I did some research And I ended up taking an equine assisted webinar and hands-on course in Wisconsin, of all places. And I met this amazing teacher, Pam. And man, she took my life coaching and my horse experience to a whole different level. So what does that mean? Well, now I work with people and use my horses too on a more spiritual level with my coaching. And it's amazing. I have really grown. And my staff consists of me and 2 horses. They're actually my employees. So here's what I discovered. I am finally now at the ripe age of, well, over 50, my most authentic self. And I'm really, really happy. Even though, I still like to dress up and go out and do stuff like that. My heart, my soul, and my total comfort level is with my horses. They're my best friends, and they know me better than anyone. It's where I'm most comfortable and happy. So, with no makeup, jeans and boots, my hair back in a ponytail, and a baseball cap, usually most every day, I spend every day with my horses. And I'm blessed that my husband supports me in this journey. And believe it or not, girls, I think he prefers the more authentic me. Are you authentic? I really encourage you to explore that. That's where I think you're going to find your true happiness and realize how blessed you are. So how can I help you become more authentic? What I recommend is that, first of all, you become brutally honest with yourself. I mean, what are you most passionate about? What do you really, really love? And then second, can you actually do what you love for a living? I mean, is it really possible? And then 3, if the answer is yes, how do you make it happen? When's now a good time? Well, here's what you should do. Set some realistic goals. Give yourself some time and make a plan. Then the most important part of all of that is live it as if it already is. Make it so. See yourself doing it and being successful at whatever it is you want to do. Meditation is a huge help with this, by the way. Don't wait for it to come first. Feel the emotions and the excitement and the joy as if you are actually living it, okay? And be grateful for that, because all those emotions and all those feelings and believing it, it really makes it come faster. You are manifesting that. And if you have a career that you really love, perfect. One thing I really recommend also is find time to walk in nature. Nature is so healing. Take off your shoes, walk on the ground, and feel the earth beneath your feet. Get quiet and listen to the birds. It's amazing how nature can heal so many things. Work on becoming who you really are on the inside. Do things that make you happy and make you grow. And don't care if people judge you. Love yourself. And if they don't approve, whatever. It's okay. Just let it go and feel the freedom of seeking your own happiness. Hey, everyone has their own path, including you. Have fun finding yourself and figuring out who you are and what makes you authentic. Try different things, go different places. It's a lot of fun. But be aware, when you are in total alignment with who you really are, get ready to get ready to get ready, because amazing things are coming your way. Now, one thing I love to recommend is great books. I still love the old-fashioned art of reading a book. Picking it up and holding that book, for me, is awesome. And you can ask my husband, I have 23 books beside my bed, and I'm probably reading them all, but I do get through them. So one great book I want to recommend is a book by Michael A. Singer. It's called Untethered Soul. I recommend this to a lot of my clients when they're, kind of bound by restrictions and feel like they've got no control. You do have control. But this book will teach you how to have peace and serenity and have your own life. And really, in the end, that's what it should be like. So this is Gina Martel. It's time to wrap up. But thank you so much for joining me and sharing your time with me. I mean, you've got tons of things to do. And the fact that you take, 10 minutes to come and spend with me, I love it. Thank you very, very much. I'm very, very honored. Send me an email, ginaemartel@gmail.com. Also, check out my website. It is coachginamartel.net. And yes, I have a Facebook page. It is Coach Gina Martel. Send me questions. Tell me your problems. If you want to talk to me, I'm truly here for you. Okay? Thank you again, and God bless you a million times.